Hello, welcome to On the Creative Road. Today is day 15 of 30 Days of Art Warm-Ups, and I'm Brenda Harris. And if you've been following along for all 15 days so far, or 14 days I should say, then you've made some textures with me. We've been doing some drawing practice. This is an example. This is if you've just joined us. This is some watercolor practice. Here's some colored pencil. So we have a lot of these. This was a junk drawer dive that we did day one. So there's some highlighter and pencil and crayon and all sorts of things. So I want you to collect all those items. Maybe you didn't care for what you did and you threw it away, and that's okay. You can always use papers that you have around the house. You might have some tissue paper. You might have some magazines that have texture and different patterns in them, or wrapping paper, or scrapbooking paper, or go back a few days and start a few days back, because the last 2 days we've been solely making textures. So if you're ready to go, grab a pair of scissors and let's get started. So I'm definitely the kind of person that likes sharing all my ups and downs. I'm not going to pretend like everything's perfect. And actually, while I was filming, I was talking about this. Like I noticed as I've been filming, I say it doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be perfect. I repeat it a lot. And I never noticed I said that as much as I do until I am recording myself and being really aware of how I'm talking, judging myself. And I guess in a way it's a bit of a mantra that it's okay, it doesn't have to be perfect. And while I started filming this, I realized, or I didn't realize it was after, the camera, I think I ran out of battery or something funky happened. So it didn't film any of my, any of my cutting or any of my process here. So I'm gonna set a timer and cut a few things with you, but basically I am going to cut some letters for possibly something else, because I do want you to see my process, but I also want to share that sometimes weird things happen, or I don't know, human error, something happens, I didn't put a new battery in, and it's okay. Life moves on. It doesn't have to be perfect. This was my intention, was to cut this out with you, cut these letters out of the papers that we had created. So there was this really nice yellow one I remember making that I was like, ooh, yeah. And so it became my B. And the same thing with this one. That was our relaxing day together, where it became the E. And yeah, I cut out some little leaves. And I just tried to alternate colors. I didn't want there to be too much red or too much of one color. And when I was cutting out the letters, I really tried really hard not to think too hard on, ooh, this might be nice right there. I want it to be slightly wonky, right? I'm not going for perfection. I'm just going for fun and playful, and so it's okay. Did I do this the wrong way? Or maybe this could be on a different one. I like when there's little petals. So I'm going to cut these petals. As far as measuring my letters when I was cutting them, I didn't draw them out. You could potentially, like for example, this is pink. It wouldn't hurt anything to lightly draw out the letter before cutting it. That's not cheating. If it's helpful for you to like draw it out first, then try to use a color that's similar, I would say, so it's not like you're just using like a really drastic color, but lightly sketch your letter. I did not. I like cutting it without sketching it, because then I get the weird funky shape, even though I'm pretty good at cutting out letters, so it doesn't look too funky. Okay, I want a little petal for the inside here is what I'm gonna cut right now. But so today's basically, I'm gonna set a timer, 10 minutes, so it keeps track of our time so I don't go over, which I've already gone over, because like I said, it didn't take me doing this. I'm going to cut this little petal here. And I like cutting up a little bit of the size first, and then I get into the detail as I'm cutting it. So I did that with the letters too. I cut out kind of like the blocky shape first, and then cut the little smaller details out of it. Gosh, yeah. Sometimes life just throws you unexpected things, and you can either get mad about it and be like, well, that's not what it was supposed to be like. But I mean, who says what anything's supposed to be like, right? You're just kind of floating along in this life, and you just have to roll with the punches. It's not worth getting mad about, especially when it comes to art. It's okay. Ooh, this is kind of yellow here, so I want that center to be yellow. Is it? Oh, this will be cute because it's yellow. So that'll go here, here, and I've got the little petals. And I also had the idea to maybe draw some lines on top of it. So we're gluing it tomorrow, so I'm not going to worry about it being perfect right now. And these leaves will be right here. The question is, how do I want to do the kind of like the vine, you know, like the stem? I'm debating on that. How I want the stem to be. I'll do another little petal over here. So let's see if I want it to be going upside down, so it's going to go the other way, right? It needs to go, okay. I roughed up that edge there. So it'll go like this. I just need a little center, maybe. Centerpiece. This is too little. I'll test that out tomorrow. We'll see. But I like that inside part. These are fine. These will have lines. This one will also have lines. I think I'll do the stems with just colored pencils. It'll be like there'll be several things going on. The question is the background. How should I do the background? See, I've already moved on. I'm like thinking of other things. So you should be cutting your letters and I'm already thinking about other things. I feel like I just skipped ahead on you. I will cut out a letter with you. Let's cut out a letter just so that way we're on the same page. So what I do is I cut out a little block and I'll make this a B. It'd be nice. Oh, that was one thing I guess that didn't get filmed that I'll explain right now. So the thing that I'm gluing it to is actually something I've had just laying around my studio or my things for a while now. It was supposed to be part of, I do bookbinding, and it was a signature. It was pages in the book that got left out. So I never sewed this in with the rest of the book. It was just a lonely signature. So this is a B, and you could potentially, maybe with an X-Acto knife would be easier to cut out the little holes, but I personally like leaving the holes filled so you can see more of the pattern. So I do not cut out the, actually, you know what's kind of nice? I have this craft paper down on the paper or on behind, and I almost want to cut a piece of it and put that behind. I wonder how that would look. That might be something I try tomorrow. So that's basically how I cut out all the letters. I do a little block first and then I do the details. So that's how I got my B, E, K, and I did tweak it as I placed them and decided where I wanted them to go. I did tweak it slightly. I cut off, like if it was too thick, I cut off little sections of it. And when I finished it, I thought it'd be really nice to have some flowers and some petals. So I cut out the petals. Maybe I'll cut out a few more with you. I find cutting things to be kind of relaxing. I just feel like using all these different parts of your brain, just, I don't know, it opens up corners of your brain that are usually closed. And so cutting is one of those things that takes some focus, but it's not, see, I have to focus so I don't cut too much off right here. But also, since it's art, it's not super critical, and so it just feels good. It's not like a stressful thing to be making this right now. This could be a stem. So now I'm deciding that I should have stems. It just keeps, this project keeps growing. I'm like, it's not a big deal. And I'm like, stem. Next I'm gonna be adding like a monkey or something and make it even more complicated. Just kidding. All right, another little stem here. So you don't have to do be kind unless you want to. I just chose be kind because I think it's a good statement. It's a good phrase to live by. A reminder to be good to your neighbor, be good to other people, especially during a time if things just feel so angry and scary in the world right now. So it's a good reminder to live by, be kind. I think if we were all a little kinder to each other, the world would be better off. Nice. So I've got little stems, I've got little leaves, I've got the words, and tomorrow I will decide on the background. Got some paint on my hand. Yeah. We have made so many textures to be able to use that we could do several of these potentially. So this could become a bigger project for you. Or me. You might see more of these little phrases on my social media. All right, so we do have about a minute left. And I might cut out, since there's time. One thing I do like playing with is using different, so playing with capital versus lowercase. So what if my I was a lowercase? How would that be? So instead of the big ol' I, what if it was like this? Now I have a dilemma because I like the little lowercase, but I also like the big. I'll have to decide on that. I'll have to decide on that tomorrow. All right, so that was 10 minutes. The alarm didn't go off, but I saw there's a little timer on the side, and I saw that it was about to go off. So that was 10 minutes, and I hope you were able to cut out your letters at least. It did take me a little longer to cut out the little leaves, so that's up to you if you want to do something that detailed or just do the letters. You could also do, like, if you like a texture, you know, like if I just like this little texture, I could potentially have cut that out and just had some layered texture. Or like, for example, this one has like really cool stuff going on. I could just cut that out and have that kind of in the background. I might still do that. That's actually a fun idea. Thanks for just going with the flow with me. I know I didn't cut out the letters with you, but you know, those things happen. So I'm glad you joined me today. I hope you got some things cut out. We'll start gluing things down tomorrow for our warm up tomorrow. So this lovely little thing will just be sitting right over here until tomorrow.